Welcome back to my channel and my first Decorate With Me for 2023 Christmas. Yes, we're in full Christmas mode here. It's the 1st of Advent Sunday, so let's jump into the video. So this year is extra special for us. We have a friend of ours who's been living abroad for a number of years in Sweden for Christmas this year. He has moved back and he wanted to make his mum's famous saffron buns that he used to get when he was a child. So I said, let's do it, and I wanted to film it. So what we need for this recipe was some milk, some salt, some eggs, some butter, as well as some flour and sugar. And then obviously we have some pearl sugar that we have here in Sweden. We like to put it on top of our buns, and some saffron, a pack of saffron, as well as some yeast and some cupcake holders. So we measured all the ingredients out beforehand, and then it was time to add in the yeast and the sugar and give everything a good mix. And then we added it into my stand mixer and put on the mixer just to give everything a good chance to get well incorporated. Then it was time to work on our saffron. We opened up the saffron bag, put it in the bowl, gave it a little bit of an extra loving, and then we added it into our milk. As you can see, the color of the milk has already started turning. It's a beautiful yellow orange color, and once we added it into the flour, it really turned the flour into a beautiful color. Then it was time to add the butter in and then give everything a mix. And then we realized we'd used our dough hook, which really wasn't very good, and we needed to use the paddle. So we changed that, and obviously it's the first time we're making it, so mistakes do happen. Paddle worked much better. Added in our egg, and then we added in a little bit of flour, a little at a time, till the dough came away from the glass bowl. Once we noticed that the dough was coming away, and as you can see, it becomes quite elastic, and we took it away and it was time to let it prune. Now, while it was pruning, I decided it was time to put up my Advent lights. Now, I have started and put up some of them, but this one I wanted to show you what it looked like. You're going to want to pick up a starlight at IKEA. They're really inexpensive there. And then you want to have a wire as well. You can buy these as well at IKEA. Don't go home without it. You want to buy it. I just hung it on a hook, and then I attached the bulb and obviously plugged it into the plug point that we have here in Sweden. All the windows have plug points because we use these Advent lights every single year. Now I'm using a red velvet star that I've had for a number of years. What you do is you pull on this thread, and then there's a button on the side there. You pull down and your star opens up. You add in your bulb, and then you pull down and really secure your star. Your star should close quite nicely, and then you use your string to add it onto the hook. Now you can have it just hanging down, but I'm trying to twist it around here because I like my things to look really neat and tidy. And once that was done, that was it. It really is the easiest way to transition your home from any time of the year into Christmas, just like that. It doesn't really acquire a lot of work. Now, in my sitting room, I tried to go a little bit different this year. I used these wreaths that I bought from IKEA. They're really beautiful wreaths. I just added them over these pendant lamps that I put on every autumn when it starts getting dark here in Sweden, Scandinavia. And I just put it on, and that served as my Advent light there. Now, these are new to my home. I bought them this year on sale. They were 70% off, and I bought 4 of them. The reason I like them is just because they're gold, they're clear, and they're really versatile. For someone like me who likes to change up their decor, I really recommend getting something like that. You can add some red berries into it, you could add some moss into it. The options are endless. But once I was done with all the lights downstairs, the dough had pruned and everything was ready to roll out. And as you can see, it's really very soft, and my friend was not having any problems rolling out the dough. So while he was rolling out the dough, I made the almond butter. You put the almond paste with some butter and you mixed it in the food processor. Now, in hindsight, I think we should have warmed it in the micro because it was not very spreadable, but we had to break it apart and try and spread it out as evenly as we can. As you can see, we didn't do a very good job, but it is what it is. It is our first time making this. It was so much fun to do it together, but they did turn out really well. Stay tuned. So then it was time to cut them into the right size, and then obviously put them into the muffin cups, as you can see, and just make sure that the muffin cups were all filled out. So while my friend was doing that, and once all of that was done, it needed to be covered and let prune for another 15 minutes. So in between that, I decided it was time to do the breakfast nook. We were going to have breakfast together, or brunch really, here together. So I put in this red wreath that I've had for a number of years, and this base that I bought at a thrift market up in the north of Sweden, and this Advent candle. Now, I've never had an Advent candle where you burn it every single day a little bit at a time. This is new to me, but I really love the color, and it really worked perfectly here. And it's lovely for us to sit as a family and eat there every day and watch the candle burn down. Then it was time to dress up the sofa. Yes, we have a kitchen sofa. It's very common here in Sweden to do that. I'm using these pillows that I've had from IKEA for a long time, a green velvet cushion and this white sort of fluffy cushion that I got some time ago as well from IKEA. They're really nice and create a warm atmosphere in the kitchen. Now, this skin is part of a set that my husband and I bought, the first thing we bought actually when we moved into our flat. But I brought it here, I separated the two because I thought it would bring a little bit of masculine feel into the kitchen as well, which is what I'm going for this year with Christmas. I was decorating and my friend said it seemed very much like a sort of Ralph Lauren Christmas, so I just ran with that. Now, this is the rice porridge that we usually have here on the 1st of Advent, well, at least my family. So I put that on the stove. Then it was time to give the buns a egg wash and then sprinkle the sugar pearls on top. And then it was into the oven for 12 minutes until nicely golden brown. So during that time, I decided to lay the table. I'm using these white placemats that I've had for a number of years. I know they looked crushed, but that's how they came out after the first time we washed them, and I've tried to iron them and they don't work, but I don't mind it really. So then I used our side plates, our normal everyday side plates. I've laid a table and a bowl obviously for the porridge for everyone, glasses and cutlery. And once it was all set, it was so beautiful and really, really lovely. But I added these gingerbread cookies on the side. I thought it would have a nice touch and my kids would really love it because we love these gingerbread cookies here in Sweden for Christmas. So that's the breakfast nook all done, and then it was time to decorate my open shelf in the kitchen. Now, when I decorate, like you see here, I love to add all my things on the dining table because then I can see what I am using. So I'm going to start by decorating my little tray here. I'm adding in a burgundy waffle kitchen towel that I've had on hand for a couple of years, and this three-tiered tray that I bought about 3 years ago from IKEA. Unfortunately, they don't have it anymore. I just added this vintage sort of tartan ribbon on it that really ties in this sort of Ralph Lauren feel, masculine feel that we're going for Christmas this year downstairs. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. It's a completely different look upstairs, and I'm going to show that to you in part 2. But I was now turning my attention to the open shelves. Now, when I style my open shelves for Christmas, I like to keep it festive but quite minimal. I don't like to have too much. Some years I've had a lot going on and then I think it's just too much. So this year I'm adding these Christmas trees, these metal ones that I bought at the secondhand store recently. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link in the description box below. And these candles, tree candles, I never use them. I just use them as trees. I love them. I use them every single year. I think I've had them for about 4 years and still felt no need to light them. I thought it was a really lovely mix with the metal trees, and I really, really loved it. I add a candle there just in case when I want to light up. I was thinking that it would probably really give a lovely glow. Then it was time to add in this beautiful vintage cake stand that my mother-in-law gave me some years ago. I love it. It's really, really beautiful, keeps with the sort of elegant theme, but I had to have this. This is a gingerbread house that my son made to sell at his Scouts Christmas market. I couldn't help myself. I bought it and we added it onto the tray, and I think it just so pretty. So to add over here, I had an idea. I had bought this sketch as well when I bought the metal Christmas trees at the thrift store. I absolutely loved it, and I added in the same bow. I tied in a ribbon, the tartan ribbon that I had on my 3-tiered gold tray, just to give everything a cohesive look, and I added it onto my open shelf. Now, while I was doing that, it was time to take out these beautiful saffron buns that had been in the oven. They look so gorgeous. They're so lovely. I'm thrilled with how they turned out. We're going to add them onto our gold 3-tiered tray and enjoy them when we have our brunch. Now I'm just continuing while the children were getting ready to come down, adding in my vintage bell or my antique bell, some of my copper canisters that I have with sugar and cocoa that I leave out all year round, some candles, as well as the glögg, which is our mild wine here in Sweden. I like to put it in a canister and have it up on the open shelf. By the sink, I'm keeping it really simple, having this sort of dish draining cloth in green, and these pot holders that I bought also at my son's Scouts in this burgundy color. I thought it was a lovely addition to the kitchen. Then it was time to light the candle. We hadn't lit it on the 1st of December, so we had a few days to light through, so we were able to sit down and enjoy our meal. And then I served everybody their porridge, and they usually serve it with sugared cinnamon and milk. These buns were so soft and so delicious. I really was thrilled how it turned out. And then we just all sat down and had a really lovely 1st of Advent brunch with our friend, and I thoroughly enjoyed the relaxed way in which we celebrated the 1st of Advent. Then it was time to head on over to town. This is Old Town in Sweden. It's called Gamla Stan, and this is what it looks like. They love to put these sort of Christmas decor pieces out and keep everything really cozy and lovely, and this is what the Stockholm Cathedral looked like inside. We went for the Messiah concert. We went last year with a friend of ours, and we go almost every year, but it was really lovely. I couldn't film the concert, but I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.